Yesterday, we talked about Marketing Studio. For anybody that didn't watch yesterday's, I'm doing a series of videos aimed at helping you understand some of certainly my favorite uh, inbound updates. Inbound being the big event last week that you must have heard of, unless you've been living under a rock. But we talked about Marketing Studio. Now we're going to look at another studio. Studio being a big thing. Again, you're going to need to go into your betas to turn this on. But let's dive straight in and see what we've got here. This is my first time in Data Studio, so it's very much me just sort of working out what I can do here. So immediately we can see there's an intro video, so we can watch it, but we're aiming to transform siloed data into actionable insights. So there's some things that we can start with, enhancing contacts, connecting sources, and starting from scratch. And then we can do things like look at our example use cases. So report on financial data without syncing it to the CRM. Pretty cool. So I can use Data Studio to create data sets that are going to power some reports. And actually, this is really nice because it's guiding me. It's telling me what to do. Let's say I want to connect an external data source. Okay, this is really exciting. This is sort of data ingestion. So I can connect to Google Sheets, and I'm not going to do that right now, but we'll do it in a future video. But this is really cool. I can connect to Google Sheet, and I can use that in my reports in much the same way that we could upload spreadsheets and use them in data sets. This is just a much more accessible version. Um, so what else can we do? We could upload a file, so we'd import some data. We can, let's see what happens when we enhance HubSpot contacts, and we can use a segment. And for anybody that missed it, lists, what used to be called lists, are now called segments. I'm actually quite excited by that. And let's say I'm going to start with 1,000 100 contacts. It's giving me a list of first name, last name, email, and contact phone number. And I can add columns. Oh, this is cool. So I can add columns that I might want to look at, and I can then start to filter down. You'll see it's going to start filtering down. Let's see, favorite food. And we can see where there's no data. Where there is data, we can kind of sort that. And we can see there's actually only a few people that have a favourite food. So we can start to sort of build up this picture. And let's say I don't want to choose columns anymore. We go back and we can see the dataset preview, and then I can decide what I'm going to do with this dataset that I've created. So I could create a segment. If I've used an external data source, I could sync it to the CRM. I can export it, which is really cool. Reports, etc., workflow. So from a first look, that is pretty cool. I can actually just sort of ingest data and play around with data in a much more intuitive way. I can get at the data sets that I've created, and actually I can see what they're being used in. That's pretty cool. So the data hub, the ops hub is now data hub. We can also then see useful things like our HubSpot data sources. So we can go in here and see CRM, marketing. Okay, we can see events, and if we've connected them, we can see external data sources, which I haven't. So that's not going to do anything, but I can connect it. So you can see here, as we kind of touched on briefly, I can add data continuously from an app. Again, we'll look at that in a different video, but look at the range of apps that we can actually just sync straight away using data sync to bring even just a single column of data in. Wow. So really cool stuff here. Um, that's like literally a 4-minute look, hopefully enough to get you excited and get you to turn on the beta, go in. This is going to save time. It's probably going to save money. It's going to help connect everything together. And it's also sort of talking you through it. There's the sort of guides, there's example use cases. Um, there's some really useful stuff in here, and again, we can sort of use the quick start use cases, or we can start from scratch and just choose what is it we're going to do, build out our columns. I really like this column format. The fact that we can then add our filters, we can change our data sources, we can add and remove sources, and then we can decide what we're going to do with it, whether it's a workflow segment, etc. So hopefully that whets your appetite, gets you really excited. Certainly half as excited as I am about what we can potentially do with this.